you're just doing a fuck ton of drawings?
I think it's when I was in second grade, I traced everything.
I think you have to trace. If you're, it's like imitation is like the sincerest form of flattery, but I think you need to trace, I did at least, the stuff that I really liked. Like, artwork, even though they tell you nowadays, like, as an artist, never trace shit, I used to trace too. And
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, I'm just saying that if it didn't look exactly like the thing I traced, then I would start over again. And in doing that, I developed, I guess,
an eye for detail.
not only that, but in my own work, if I'm drawing something and it's not as good as what I'm referencing, then I just start all over again. I mean, this is probably the 5th draw over of this drawing.
So how often do you throw drawings away?
Dude, each thumbnail is super quick, and then right away I lower the opacity, and on that same one, keep doing it until
so these start off on paper first, and then they make their way to Photoshop?
Nah, I never do that. It always depends on what I have at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm on paper, I'm drawing super light, or I'm burning my eraser.
Well, because you said opacity, so you're using your hand to like reduce the opacity. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yo, that's badass. He's so good. He thinks of himself as Photoshop, pretty much. His fingers are Photoshop tools.
That or I'm burning my eraser too.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but this is pretty much the 6th draw. And then by that point, I just, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Damn, what it is awesome. That's so. Is it hard to do your job mentally, physically, or which one's harder? Is it like more mentally difficult to just come up with these ideas, or is it like is your hands? Do your hands work out? Like what is the most difficult part about doing this that people take for granted, I guess?
I mean, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Like, what was the biggest obstacle for you when you were trying to really get it? Was there any mental blocks, or was it just like, oh, I'm getting better now. Oh, I'm getting better now. Oh, I'm the fucking best.
I don't know. The hardest thing I ever had to overcome. I wouldn't say the hardest thing was art related.
Well, okay, was it like, because when you were in school, what did they say that like, alright Andy, your anatomy's dope, your proportions are this shit, but like, what was it, what were they saying like, alright, was there any part of your drawing that could have, benefited from,
Okay, the first class I had with Johan, and he told us all the stuff he was on. He goes, oh, I did this, I did this, I did that.
That sounds familiar.
So I go, okay, this is the guy who's going to teach me what I need to know.
Okay.
Right? So after class, I took him my sketchbook, and he opens it to the first page, and then he closes it and says, you're not going to make it. And I told him why.
What?
Yeah.
Bomba clap, bra, bum, bum, bum. You shoot shots, nigga. You a student, you came in, trash.
Yeah.
Yo, that's garb.
And yeah, so he tells me why, and then he says, do you know who Mark Kunkel is? And I go, no. Okay, go reference him. So I go and reference it, and that's when I guess I mean, I've always liked drawing, but that's when I started loving it.
Okay.
Right. So I filled up a sketchbook with that, and then I took it back to him. He was like, oh, all right. He's like, do you know who Glenn Keane is? I'm like, no. All right. Go see. And I went, filled up a sketchbook with him, took it back, and we did that throughout my career there at the Art Institute.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's an awesome come-up story.
But I would say the biggest problem
Mm.
was, the fear of failure, I guess. Because I come from, so I moved here for this, and I sacrificed a lot for it, and I didn't want to go back, empty-handed.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I cared more about that than I did
Anything else. Yo, the fear of failure, you gotta use that shit. If you're scared to fail, you can use it as the motivation
Big time.
to get your shit done. And if that's all you got left, the fear of failure, then use it like it's premium gas.
It was one of the best teachers for sure.
Yeah, So that's dope. I mean, it was awesome talking to you. I guess I got one more tough question. I guess if it's tough or is handling. How do you handle rejection? How did you handle rejection? Is it something that you had to get used to, or what was your experience with rejection? Because it's something I've experienced in the industry when I'm, especially when you're looking for jobs and you're starting.
Well, how did you handle it?
Shit, how did I handle rejection? Shit, by fucking toughing it up and realizing that, you're gonna fail, and the faster you fail, the faster you can succeed. So if I keep hearing no's, it's only a matter of time before I hear yes. That's how I kind of got through and never kind of gave up, because there were lots of times when I didn't have a job or I didn't have freelance work and shit. We were struggling, but I knew that if I kept making my skills better, I would get better. If I kept making myself more hireable by learning more tools or learning more software or getting better at hard surface or getting better at lighting or design, that it would make me more competitive in the industry and more and that's pretty much how I handle it,
The way I see it is, if you can't overcome rejection within an hour of it happening, then this isn't the life for you.
Yeah, okay. You
You
can't dwell on that shit, man. You can't, because you're gonna hear no a lot. I heard no a lot. I would go into offices, I would just take my resume and shit, and I would just start showing up at places.
Right.
And a lot of times they'd be like, oh, we like we like this stuff, and give me your resume and stuff. But most of the time it was a no. It was like, no, we don't need anybody. I was sitting at hundreds of fucking resumes and stuff, and I wouldn't get anything back. But I knew that if I kept working and if I kept getting better, putting my shit out there, writing articles, or just taking my own accountability for myself, that I would get to where I wanted to go. And sure enough, somebody hired me. It's like, yo, shit you're doing is badass, come do it with us. It happens. So I feel like people can definitely persevere and that's why I think skateboarding was probably the most important thing for me, is because it teaches me the most fundamental aspect of life, which is if you fall and you want to skate, you gotta get your ass back up. There's no other way that you're gonna go through life as a skater if you don't fall. So when people get on my skateboard and go, how do I do this? I was like, all right, do you like falling? Listen, do you like falling? If you don't like falling, then you're not gonna like getting back up.
Yeah.
So you almost have to embrace that shit. Embrace failure. Yo, I failed, boom, I own your shit and get better the next time. So apart from that, are there any projects you're working on? Thanks for asking me the question, even though it's my my show, my interview. That's awesome. Thank you. I never get to give my insight and shit.
I have a personal project. I'm storyboarding out one of my stories right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called John Higgins and the Hotel Sarah Blanca.
Ooh,
It's a detective story.
that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
I'm about 50 boards in.
Damn, that sounds so dope. So you're gonna turn it into an animatic and stuff, or what
I
you
don't
trying to
know.
do? What's your end goal for this bad boy?
Hopefully a book.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds awesome. Dude, if you do storyboard shit, just take that shit up to Pixar or Disney. Be like, yo, I got your next blockbuster right here. And then call me up and be like, Ty, we made it!
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. I look forward to seeing more of that shit, more of your projects. You're an awesome artist. Where can people follow your stuff? Where can people find the latest Andy Estrada stuff?
only on Instagram.
Only on Instagram right now? You know what? Yo, you're like the 15th artist that I've run into. I'm like, yo, so what's your website? Like, people who are working actively, like, really don't, have time to...
I don't have a website.
You don't have a website? Okay. Wow. Like last week, neither Oscar nor Victor have a website. Or Kevin, or... They have their Behance that they use to show their graphic design, but that's pretty much, and I think that's...
I've never even used the ones
that you made in school?
I've never used it once.
What? I use that shit in every interview. I be like, yo, you want to check out what I did back in 07?
Did I tell you I got hired at a picture company? Okay, so I applied there for a 3D modeling job.
Oh yeah.
And I get there and I'm showing them work that I did on the first day of 3D Max. And the art director stops me. And he thought I was joking.
Oh wow.
He's like, are you
art?
Yeah. He's like, are you serious right now?
Yo, am I being punked?
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not a 3D modeler, but I can draw, right? And I show him my sketchbook. And then that's where I got the job.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yo, it's like when I went for my job at Section 5, and there's like this survey that they have you do, which is like they say, give me all the list. They give you like a list of all this stuff, and you have to circle how good you are on that stuff. I'm probably giving industry secrets, but I think everybody does this. You have to circle how good you are, and that's how they test your aptitude and the stuff. So, and I was showing them my stuff, and I like circled animation, and I was like, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm like, in reality, I'm like a 1.5, but I put like a 3. And they're like, yo, you put animating on here, so you know how to animate? I was like, I guess so. Like, and I'm trash at animating. I kind of just said it because I was like, really wanted the job, and I was like, hopefully animation isn't what's gonna like disqualify me. But and I pull up some animation that I did, and he kind of looked at it. He really didn't say anything for a second.
You had animation for him to look at?
Yeah, it was trash animation. It wasn't like anything good. It was something I did for like a freelance a long time ago, and it was just garbage. Like, I didn't animate the characters. It was like the steps that 3ds Max did.
Oh, I got
So it wasn't really like I animated. I kind of like set up some shit, and I was like, this is. He was like, so do you have any modeling stuff? I was like, yes, I do. And I showed him my modeling stuff, and that's how I got the job.
I think
my animation was trash.
I think this industry is pretty much
Trash.
It's who you know.
Oh my god.
And
yes.
if you don't know anyone,
you ain't getting nowhere.
then it's fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yo, act like you know everybody. Like everybody's page. Friend everybody, when they post something right under them. The thing is, you can trick people into thinking they know you. Just start, positively commenting. Yo, that looks awesome, homie. I'll see you around. Tell them you'll see them around. And then when you actually see them, dab them up like they know you. Nobody will ever be so unpolite that they don't shake your hand. At the very least, they're going to shake your hand, they're going to look at you kind of funny. But then you give them the story about how you knew them. And you're good to go. But let's get back to Mr. Estrada. Thanks for coming on the show. This next segment is called This or That. And in this segment, we're going to ask him some very tantalizing questions and see how fast he can respond. Let's do this. Alright, let's get this next part. Where is the list?
Oh, you have a list? Is it the same list for everyone?
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody gets the similar list. The first section you get to choose, and the second section is... Alright.
I get to choose a second.
this first segment you get to choose. So I've got 3 categories in this section. There's television, that's one category. There is books, games, and music, that's another section. And then there is sports, that's the third section. So choose one of the sections and we can start.
Let's go with music.
Music! Coming right up. Alright, so this or that is literally this or that. I ask you this or that, and you answer as fast as you can.
Alright.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Movie theater or arcade?
Movie theater.
Book or Kindle?
Book.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Neither.
Nintendo or Sega?
Sega.
Guitar or piano?
Guitar.
Drawing or painting?
Drawing.
Marvel or DC Comics?
Marvel.
Pixar or Disney?
Disney.
Ooh, the mother company. Alright. Batman or Superman?
Super.
Animation or modeling?
These are easy.
These are the last ones, right? 2D or 3D?
2D.
Alright. Okay, wow. From an illustrator himself, he prefers 2D. I don't know why.
Easy this or that.
Easy this or that. Alright. We're gonna do this next one. Alright. Dog or cat?
Can I say both?
You can say both. Netflix or YouTube?
Both.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
wait,
These
YouTube.
are getting tougher, huh?
YouTube. I'll just pick one.
YouTube? Alright. Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Toast or eggs?
Toast.
Cardio or weights?
Cardio.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Ice cream cone or snow cone?
Ice cream.
Mobile games or console games?
Mobile.
While you're walking, would you prefer music or podcast?
Music.
iOS or Android? Form or function?
What?
Form or function?
I don't know what that is.
Form is, do you prefer aesthetics over it being function?
Oh.
Form or function? Function. Do you design with function, my friend?
No.
But you prefer function?
I like to think so.
Okay. Pop or indie? Indie, alright. Cake or pie?
Cake.
Swimming or sunbathing?
Swim.
High tech or low tech?
Low.
Wow, okay. Big party or small gathering?
Small kid.
New clothes or new phone?
You.
Rich friend or loyal friend?
Loyal.
Football or basketball? Work hard or play hard?
Work hard.
Oh wow!
I
I think Oscar said something like both. Work hard, then play harder. Yeah. All right. Nice car or nice home interior?
Damn. Home interior.
What's worse, laundry or dishes?
Dishes, dude. Dishes. 100%.
Jogging or hiking?
Hiking.
All right. Bath or shower?
Shower.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Glasses or contacts?
Glasses.
Hamburger